Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you my 7 tips to improve the dust collection setup in your workshop. Okay, so dust collection can be such a beautiful thing. It can increase productivity to allow you to spend more time making cool projects and being productive rather than cleaning up dust and sawdust and crap around your shop. However, there are some things that could be improved upon even in the most perfect dust collection setup system, and those tips are what I'm going to be sharing with you. Contrary to popular belief, dust collection is not designed to collect sawdust. It's designed to collect the fine particles, the kind of stuff that can really cause serious health issues and damage to your body if you're exposed to them over a large period of time. So the dust collection setup in your shop may not collect all of the larger chips, and that's fine, that's normal. Tip number 1, do not use 90-degree elbows. Instead, use 2 45-degree elbows. Now, the geometry is the same whether you're doing 2 45s or 190. However, with 190-degree elbow, it forces the airflow and the dust to have to make a hard turn, and it loses some of that momentum and some of that sucking force in your system. Instead, if you do a 45-degree elbow with just a short piece of pipe and then another 45, it's more of a rounded corner rather than a hard 90-degree elbow or a 90-degree corner. Tip number 2. Keep the tubing as straight as possible. Now, this may seem obvious, but it's just basic friction. Anytime you have a curve or something, that's going to slow down the airflow, slow down the momentum and the sucking power. So keep your pipes as straight as possible. What I mean by that is, like, if there's a sag or a droop or something in your shop, make some wall hangers, some sort of roof ceiling mounted hanger, something to keep that pipe as perfectly straight as possible. An example would be if this is an I-beam in your shop and the pipe is coming this way, and now you have to come down under the beam and up to the ceiling again, just lower your pipe altogether to be able to keep it straight under it. A lot of this dust collection tubing does not take up a lot of space. It's usually mounted high on a wall or even on the ceiling to give you more valuable real estate space on your lower walls and on the floors in your shop. Tip number 3, don't use silicone for sealing joints. Use tape instead. Trust me, you'll thank me later. So obviously the best way to seal up the joint and prevent air from escaping around that joint is to use silicone. However, by using silicone, you're kind of putting yourself in a corner that basically your setup is going to be permanent forever. From experience, I've went through about 4 to 5 iterations of my dust collection setup before I found the one that I now consider to be halfway permanent. So they do change no matter how permanent you think your setup might be. If you use silicone and you decide to change your setup, it's just more of a pain in the butt to redo it. You're going to be having to scratch all of that old silicone off, and then even then there's going to be some residue left on the pipe, which can make it hard to put into a bell or to another female coupling on another pipe because there's old residue on there from the silicone. Instead, use duct tape or HVAC tape or even masking tape or packing tape, something that can be on there that is pretty permanent, but you can also take it off if you need to. The next tip is use PVC pipe. Specifically thin wall PVC pipe. It's super lightweight, it's much cheaper than the actual dust collection tubing systems, and it's readily available at all the big box stores. By opting for thin wall PVC over actual plumbing PVC, the heavy duty stuff, it's also more lightweight and easier to maneuver around and install and mount on the wall in your shop. Now, obviously the best tubing for dust collection is going to be that actual dust collection designed tubing. That's normally only available at a woodworking store or through a woodworking supplier online, whereas the thin wall PVC is available everywhere at all the big box stores, and it's also easy to get couplings, elbows, adapters, etc. from those stores rather than every time you need a new coupling, you're having to order it from the same manufacturer that you bought the dust collection tubing from. There is one benefit to going with the dust collection tubing is that it would probably provide a little bit better joint. It's also designed for dust to flow through, but some of those brands are clear pipe, which means you can actually see the dust flowing through it. The benefit in that is that if there's a clog or anything, you can see it and know exactly where it's at. In my 8 years of experience woodworking, I've only had one clog in my dust collection system, and I did not need clear pipe to be able to determine where the clog was and how to clean it. So to me, the price difference in using the thin wall PVC pipe is much cheaper than the name brand stuff, and it's much easier to get your hands on and supply locally. Tip number 5, stay as big as possible for as long as possible. Here's what I mean. At some point, your pipe size, your pipe diameter is going to have to reduce. Most hobbyist woodworking machines either have a 2.5-inch port or a 4-inch port on the machine on the tool. Most dust collectors have a 6-inch port, sometimes an 8-inch port on the machine. So at some point you're going to have to reduce it down. Standard out of the box typically is a 6-inch port that has 2 4-inch ports coming off of it. You close one of them off, maybe you run your thin wall PVC from the 4-inch port all the way to the tool. Staying as big as possible for as long as possible. What I mean is that do not reduce to 2.5-inch pipe closest to the dust collector. Wait until you get all the way across your shop and then reduce it to 2.5 right next to your planer or joiner or whatever it is. This allows the air to flow more smoothly for a greater, longer distance of time, and then you just have the short piece of pipe that is restraining or constraining the diameter of that pipe, so you're not restricting the airflow as much. Number 6, install valves or blast gates close to the dust collector. So obviously the easiest method for doing this is to install the blast gates closest to the machine, because when you're ready to work, you want to be able to open the blast gate nearest the machine and not have to walk all the way across your shop to the dust collector. However, the most efficient way to do it and a way to improve your dust collection system is to install a blast gate closest to the machine. The reason for this is that you're restricting the airflow to that leg or that run closer to the machine, which immediately and more quickly diverts the airflow to the other run to the machine that you're using at that time. Again, this is not super convenient, but it is a way that will improve your dust collection. And finally, tip number 7, clean those blast gates. The valves or blast gates, as we typically call it in dust collection, have got to be clean. They are inevitably going to collect hardened wood glue, sometimes screw heads, little bits and sawdust and crap that will get stuck in that valve, in that blast gate. If you do not clean those will not shut all the way, and you will inevitably have a little bit of airflow that is escaping even when the valve is closed. So the blast gate has got to be clean so that it can shut all the way, which truly restricts the airflow, allowing your other dust collection runs to the machines to be more efficient. Okay, these are just 7 tips that in my opinion I have found to be helpful in improving your dust collection system. If you have more advice or some other tips that I didn't mention in this video, leave them down in the comments down below. I'd be happy to read all the comments and reply to those necessary. Thank you for watching. Take care.